All right, ladies and gents, tonight is the Producers Guild Awards. These really came up fast. I thought these were actually next week. Turns out the Directors Guild Awards are next week, and tomorrow night, the 29th of January, is the Screen Actors Guild Awards. So we'll go ahead and we'll kill two birds with one stone here. We have a predictions for both the Producers Guild and the Screen Actors Guild Awards that are happening this weekend here. Okay, we'll go ahead and get the Producers Guild over with here first. We just have the one film category here. Well, technically there is an animated feature category, but that one we're pretty sure is going to go to Zootopia. And then for Best Picture of the Year, according to Producers Guild, this should be La La Land. Should easily be La La Land, actually. The only thing that's stopping it, a lot of people are putting down Arrival, a lot of people are putting down Moonlight as the two films that can stop it. Between those two, I think Arrival actually has the better shot. Because here's the thing. Even though Moonlight, yes, at this point is, if anybody's going to take La La Land down for Best Picture at the Oscars, it's going to be Moonlight. But here's the thing. The producing team behind Moonlight was the winner here last year with The Big Short. I don't know if they're going to award that same producing crew 2 years in a row. To my memory, it's been a little while since that's happened. Technically, you could count 2013 and 2014 when the same producers team behind both 12 Years a Slave and Birdman won. But you have to remember, back in 2013, it tied with Gravity, though. So it's not a win all by itself, So that's something there to keep in mind. And here's the thing: La La Land, it's from Lionsgate. But here's the thing that makes me say, okay, well, still Moonlight has an outside chance, and that's A24 Pictures is a distributor. And I don't know who's all running the campaigns for this, but you have to remember last year A24, both at the Oscars at least, both at the nomination stage and at the Oscar night stage, pulled off the two most unlikely things in the Oscar races. The first one was for the directing race for nominations, and that was Lenny Abrahamson getting in. So that was whoever was behind the team there really did a great job to make sure his name was in the discussion there, so he could get nominated. And then A24, in addition to being behind backing Room last year, also was backing Ex Machina. And who in the hell could have predicted Ex Machina to win visual effects? Whoever was campaigning at A24 did a spectacular job last year. So, Moonlight is their big player this year. They've only got one. They're putting all their money down for it. I've seen on Twitter, they're always reposting that every day practically, saying, it's got 8 nominations. It's been heralded as the best film of the year and all that. So, it's one to say, it's got an outside shot at winning the Producers Guild tonight. It's got an outside shot still of taking down La La Land. And then I say, Arrival. I mean, Denis Villeneuve, or Villeneuve, however you pronounce his last name. His team usually gets nominated for a whole bunch of stuff at these Guild Awards. Like Arrival, I think, was nominated at almost all of them. Sicario last year got nominated at a whole bunch of them. They love his stuff. So, I mean, there's a chance it pulls it off, but man, at this stage, it's between those three. I don't think Manchester has much of a chance. And the other 6 nominees, yeah, they're lucky to be there. So those are my picks for the Producers Guild. I think La La Land will win, though. Okay, now moving on to the Screen Actors Guild Awards. It looked like these were, with the exception of a couple of awards here, like, say, 2 weeks ago I was thinking, oh yeah, a couple of these awards are kind of tough, but everything else is easy. Well, here's the thing. I'm looking at them now and I'm saying, we've got 2 locks for tomorrow night, and that is for Best Film Ensemble, Stunt Ensemble, I should say. Best Film Stunt Ensemble, and that's going to go to Hacksaw Ridge. I mean, seriously, no other contender in that category has any luck in the Best Picture race. It's the only Best Picture nominee there. And besides Doctor Strange and Nocturnal Animals, they both only have 1 nomination each. The other 2, Jason Bourne and Captain America Civil War, have no Oscar presence whatsoever. So that one, I mean, hand over fist is going to go to Hacksaw Ridge. The other one we can call right away is Viola Davis winning for Fences. Even though she did win for The Help back in 2011, I mean, she's got the Oscar, under lock and key at this point. You might as well engrave it in her name. That leaves the other 4 film categories, including lead actor, supporting actor, and film ensemble, as the 4 toughest to predict here. And between those 4, if you got to pick the one behemoth, the one that's going to be the hardest to predict, the one that's going to leave us all scratching our heads if, trying to pick which one is going to win, it's film ensemble. The top award, it's their equivalent to Best Picture. And I'll tell you what, this would have been an easy one if La La Land was nominated. It is not. Instead, your 5 are Fences, Captain Fantastic, Hidden Figures, Manchester by the Sea, and Moonlight. And boy, between these 5, right now I have Moonlight winning this. Thing is, since La La Land is not nominated, you got to go with the next film in line, which for me is Moonlight. It did win Best Film Drama at the Globes. It's got 8 nominations. It tied with Arrival for second most nominations at Oscars. And on top of that, it's got Mahershala Ali, Naomi Harris they're both individually nominated. You got Janelle Monáe, who is also in the cast for Hidden Figures. So those two, Mahershala and Janelle, both have 3 nominations. Mahershala has 3 nominations total because he's in the cast of those 2, and he's nominated individually for supporting actor. And then Janelle's got 2 for being in Hidden Figures and in Moonlight. Let's see here. I think that's the only overlapping I'm seeing between any of these films. And then you look at it, you say, well, I think the next competitor to Moonlight, the one that could take it down first, in my opinion, is Manchester by the Sea. It's got the most nominations of any film here. It's got 4. It's got lead actor, supporting actress, and this award nominated for. So that's got to go home with something, right? Right now, I'm having it taken Best Actor with Casey Affleck, but that could still pull along and win that award too. And then you've got Hidden Figures. Now, every once in a while, the Screen Actors Guild likes to award the biggest cast, like the big headliner cast, and then it takes nothing else. That was the case with Spotlight last year. It won that award, didn't win anything else, but it had that huge cast. Grand Budapest Hotel almost won back in 2014. Birdman ended up taking it. And it's kind of recovery second stage revival in the Oscar race. And it's seriously, I don't think Octavia is going to win her category. Viola Davis is in that same category. There's no way she wins. And there's no other individual nominees. So if they like it enough, and it is, another thing that's really helped it, is that it's been number 1, 2, or 3 at the American box office since it went wide in January. Guess what? That's right about the same time that the ballots were out for this award. So, they might say, oh, well, Moonlight, we're thinking Mahershala is going to win for supporting actor, so that's that one taken care of. Manchester by the Sea, that's, Casey Affleck's got that one, so that's taking care of that one. But we don't have Hidden Figures winning anything. And then they look at Fences, which I think is also in the race here, definitely. You look at it, you say, well, Viola's going to win her category. There's another one that's got me thinking here, and that's Denzel Washington, but we'll get to him in a minute. That's one where they might go with that one too. So, so that leaves a whole lot of possibilities. A whole lot of possibilities here. So the big thing with Fences that's got me thinking they still might go with Fences, even though Viola's going to win, is Denzel Washington. Been around for years, so have the Screen Actors Guild, not forever, but they've been around a little bit. Since the Screen Actors Guild has started, Denzel has been nominated. I think this is his 4th or 5th nomination. I could be wrong. It might be more. It might be less. He has yet to win any award from the Screen Actors Guild. Not in a Best Cast, not in an individual award. So if you give Fences that Best Film Ensemble win, even with Viola winning her category, that gives Denzel a Screen Actors Guild award. Boy, so that's a tough one, because he could still individually he could win for Best Actor. He could take down Casey Affleck here. He could. He's got that big showy performance. He's also the director and producer on the film, or a co-producer, I should say. He's got, I think, 2 other producers on the movie. So that leaves a lot of question marks. So that's why I default to Moonlight, because it is the second most nominated film at the Oscars. It got more nominations than Manchester, got more nominations than Fences, got more than Hidden Figures. And the Screen Actors Guild sometimes does like to try to predict the Oscars, like they did last year with Spotlight. Did that with Birdman. Helped it in the big turnaround there. Uh, they did not give it to 12 Years a Slave, though. Gave it to American Hustle, which was another case where it was up for, I think just Jennifer Lawrence was the only individual nominee there. But they were like, this cast is so great, we got to give it something. So they gave it the best film ensemble, and it didn't win anything else. So that's another example, like Hidden Figures, where it's got only one nomination, big cast, they can still win. For now, though, yeah, I got to stick with Moonlight. But who knows? Who knows? It could go to any one of those four. I think Captain Fantastic, lucky to be there, but it's not going to win. Yeah, so in that Best Actor race, like I said, I do have Casey winning that one. Denzel is a strong second, though. Denzel, I did have him winning the Globe. I changed to him at the last minute. Didn't pay off, so... And Casey's won so much already. I think I'm just going to stick with Casey on everything else this year, unless Denzel wins tomorrow. If he does happen to win tomorrow, then, the most common, too, if you're going to win only 2 awards at the precursors and at the Oscars, if you win the Oscar and you win anything else, the most common one is the Screen Actors Guild. And in the last, oh boy, how long has it been now? I think they're the last, oh God, how long has it been now? I think since 2001 was the last time they differentiated, because actually, you know what? That was funny mentioning this. Denzel won the Oscar that year for Training Day. It was his second win. And Russell Crowe won the Screen Actors Guild for Best Actor. I think that's the last time that this category, Best Actor, has gotten that wrong at the Oscars, because they gave it to Leo last year, gave it to Eddie Redmayne the year before, and that helped trigger his march to the Oscars. Yeah, I think that's the way they're going to go there. I know some people are saying, well, Ryan Gosling could win for La La Land. I don't think so. I think if La La Land did have that Outstanding Cast nomination, then that might have helped him a little more. But for now, I think actually Vigo might have a better chance, since Captain Fantastic is in that Best Film Ensemble list. Plus, it's another case where, they're not going to give it that award. But if they like it that much and they want to give it something, Vigo is still an option. Vigo's still an option. I don't think he has enough support to split the difference and win. I just don't think so, but he is a really respected actor. So, I mean, he could pull it off. He could pull it off. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'll put it down as a possibility. That way, I don't sound absolutely. That way, I can go back and say, well, I did say it was a possibility in case he does win. But yeah, with Casey winning so much, I think I'm going to have to default with that one. Okay, Best Actress in a Leading Role. This one actually is another one where there's 4 viable winners here. With the exception of Emily Blunt, I think everybody else is still in this race. The thing here is Emma Stone, she plays an actress. She's, she's an ingenue like Jennifer Lawrence was a few years ago, or, there's a couple other examples, but a lot of people are listing her as the winner here. Plus, La La Land does not have that film ensemble nomination. If it's getting all this buzz, getting 14 nominations at the Oscars, tying with All About Eve and Titanic, they got to give it something, right? Well, I think all that love for La La Land has to go somewhere. It's going right here to Best Actress for Emma Stone. That being said, Natalie Portman, I haven't seen her movie yet, Jackie, but it's one of the performances everybody's talking about, and I did have her initially winning this. But I'll tell you what, with Emma Stone getting, she's almost got the deck stacked in her favor there with so much, and plus she's been campaigning a lot more. Natalie Portman is she's pregnant right now, so that takes a little hit there with your going around to all the voters. And then you look at Meryl Streep. She did not win the Screen Actors Guild for the Iron Lady, and she went on to win the Oscar there. So if they do feel like they need to make up for that, this is one case. And plus, we got to keep going back to that Golden Globe speech. I mean, that really fired up a lot of people in Hollywood saying, let Meryl be our spokesperson or something. I mean, since so many liberals out there are so pissed off. Okay, I don't want to go into politics here, but with so many people out in California so disappointed with the way the election turned out. Um, you know, Meryl, when she spoke, it it was exactly what they were thinking. It was exactly what they wanted to hear. Maybe not what they needed to hear, but what they wanted to hear. Anyway, so that's still one where, and then plus Florence Foster does have an actor nominated in that supporting category, and that's Hugh Grant. So it does show that they like the movie a little bit, not just her. They like the movie too. So yeah, I mean that's why I would say Meryl has a shot too. And then Amy Adams, she did just miss that Oscar nomination for Arrival. And she is really respected here as well. She's gotten how many is it now? Four or no? I'm sorry, three nominations I think prior to this one. This is her fourth, if I counted right. And with the exception of American Hustle, she has not won an individual award. And Arrival, I know and I think I did say it once or twice, but the acting branch might not have liked Arrival as much as everybody else did. Like the technical, the director's branch, the producer's branch, they all love Arrival, but the acting branch did not. Clearly, I think that's the reason why Amy missed out. So, it could be a makeup for that and a kind of a kiss on the cheek for, oh, too bad you weren't nominated. But it is a long shot though. But I just wanted to mention it just in case, because I know some other people are mentioning that as well. Okay, now we move on to Best Actor in a Supporting Role. Boy, this is another case where you're like, huh. I mean, with the exception, I don't think Hugh Grant's going to win. With that exception, again, it's all four of the other nominees have a fighting chance to get in there. Mahershala, I do have winning that because I just think because he's so out, he's got so much built up momentum here. He did lose the Globe, which makes me say, okay, he can lose the Oscar now. I'd say if he had swept the Globe and he's got Critics' Choice already, if he had been, and he's nominated at BAFTA too, so he's got all the key nominations he needs to support his win. Just the Globe was the only one he missed, but his competitor at the Globes, Aaron Taylor Johnson, is not nominated here, not nominated to the Oscars either. So, if it happened to be that he was in second place at the Globes, with his top competitor taken out, there's your winner. Jeff Bridges, though, he is the veteran. He did win, I believe, for Best Actor for... yes, he did, clearly. Or else we would have mentioned that earlier. For Crazy Heart. So he's already won before. I do have him in second place because of that veteran factor. And then you got Dev Patel for Lion. His co-star Nicole Kidman is nominated here as well, individually, for Supporting Actress. Which, again, shows that they like the movie. They don't just like him. So... it's got a possibility there. Plus, I'm starting to think if anybody's going to take Mahershala down, it comes between him and Jeff and the next competitor, Lucas Hedges. I mean, any one of those four, I think, have at least a 10% chance of winning that Oscar. And the thing with Dev is, from out of these four, I think besides Mahershala, I think he's campaigning the hardest. And plus, it's a Harvey Weinstein movie. His movies always, he always goes for the jugular with those voters, trying to get as many votes out as he can. So this could be the one case where Dev wins. And plus, I think he was nominated for Slumdog Millionaire, or at least he was included with the cast. I think I would have to double check that. I might be wrong. If I am wrong, list it in the comments. That way, people don't, people know. But anyways, so I think he's a viable option there. And then the last one, yes, is Lucas Hedges. I happen to notice, yes, he is. If he happened to win the Oscar for supporting actor, he would be the youngest winner in that category, with the exception of Timothy Hutton, who I think is ever so slightly younger. They're both about 20 years old. So, or he was when he won Back for Ordinary People. And for me, Lucas Hedges, between these five performances, I got to say Lucas Hedges had the best of the five. And plus, Manchester is the most nominated film, and it's got that Film Ensemble Award, which helps him over Jeff, which helps him over Dev. Mahershala also's got that film nomination as well. So that those two, I think, are if you want to go by that status, then yeah, Lucas has just as much a shot as Mahershala does. But the way the Screen Actors Guild Awards go, they, but we said the same thing about the Globes. They usually don't bunch up and give one film everything. They usually don't. Like, for example, American Hustle, like I said, had the most nominations at the Oscars, or tied, I should say, with Gravity. And it only got one award at the Screen Actors Guild. It was the top one, but they only had Jennifer Lawrence nominated. Or last year at Spotlight, I mean, they had one nomination there for an individual award, and then the cast, and it won there. Let's see, the only one I'm thinking of is The Help, which won Best Film Ensemble, Best Actress, and Best Supporting Actress. That won 3 out of the 6. It was 5 categories then, I should say, that it was nominated in. Or no, hang on, it wasn't nominated for any of the guys. No, it went 3 for 3. But I think Chastain was nominated too, so it was 3 for 4 technically. But yeah, they usually don't bunch up and give any movie more than one usually. There are cases like American Beauty, I think, won 2 or 3. What else can I think of here that might have won multiple? Boy, I have to check back again. But I think it's been a while since it's won, where a film has won upwards of 2 or 3 awards. And I just don't think that's going to be the case for something like Manchester by the Sea or for Moonlight. I think at most they're going to win 2, and that would be Casey and Film Ensemble for Manchester, or if Moonlight pulls it out, it'd be Mahershala and the film for Film Ensemble. Anyway, so in other words, I don't know if I can say I have a single freaking clue what's going to happen, but this is just what I'm going with. So yeah, those are with the exception, I think Moonlight is not the clear-cut favorite, but neither is Mahershala, neither is Casey, neither is Emma. There's a tough competition and stiff competition in all those categories. Yeah, like I said, the only 2 we know for sure are Supporting Actress, which is Viola Davis, and Hacksaw Ridge taking that stunt award. Everything else, there's 3 or 4 possibilities. So, it's one where it's going to be fun to watch. It'll be great to see the acceptance speeches and stuff to see if they help or hurt them in the Oscar race. I'd say especially for the game changers, possibly tomorrow. Here's the thing. I say if Mahershala loses tomorrow, that's a big sign that we're overstating him for his Oscar win. He might not pull it out if he doesn't win tomorrow. Same goes with Casey. If he loses tomorrow, it's up in the air for whether or not he's going to win that Oscar, depending on who he loses to, especially. And then Best Actress, I think if Emma Stone wins tomorrow, I think she's got that Oscar under lock and key. She'll pull ahead and be the favorite. She's already got the Globe. Natalie lost the Globe to Isabelle Huppert, who's not nominated here. But, if she would have won that Globe, I think that would have, the momentum would still be 50-50. But now it's leaning toward Emma since she has that advantage there. And unless, Moonlight, if it does happen to win tomorrow, it'll have a Globe and it'll have a Screen Actors Guild, big awards. La La Land at this point only has Critics' Choice and the Globes for comedy. But if it wins PGA tonight, and that's a big sign. But here's the thing, though. Let's say, on some crazy chance that Moonlight wins PGA tonight, and it wins Screen Actors Guild tomorrow, then that movie starts a full court press. Really starts a full court press with its marketing, because then it'll have a Best Picture drama win at the Globes. It'll have a Screen Actors Guild Ensemble Award, and it'll have a PGA win. If it happens to have those 3, oh boy, La La Land is indeed in trouble. But if La La Land does pull out that win tonight, I think it will. It's not a pullout. I think it's an obvious winner, and it's got the Globe for comedy musical. It's not, like I said, it's not up for film ensemble, but still, we're looking at what could be another fun race. Like last year, I don't know if I could call that a fun race. That was a stressful race, trying to figure out what the hell was happening, because we had, the Globes were going to. The Revenant, and what won the comedy one last year? It wasn't The Big Short. It was The Martian. There we go. But we were like, The Martian's not going to be that great at the going forward. And then PGA happened, and it went to The Big Short, and we were like, uh-oh. And then film ensemble at the Screen Actors Guild went to Spotlight. That was the easy one to predict. And then PGA went to The Revenant. So all three of those big key awards split and went to different films. And I think DGA, it is next weekend. I think that'll go to Damien Chazelle. I think that's, clear cut. So that and Producers Guild hopefully will line up with La La Land. It'll just be one exception here, and that's Film Ensemble for potentially for Moonlight or Manchester or Hidden Figures or Fences, depending on how they go. But I think, like I said, Moonlight will win that. I mean, I could go on for like hours here trying to figure out what's going to happen, but I think I've put it all out what I wanted to say and the possibilities that could happen. So, I mean, if you're trying to predict these like me, then tomorrow will be a fun night. It could be a game changer in a couple of categories, and we'll have to see what happens. But for now, those are my predictions for the what is this, the 22nd Screen Actors Guild Awards, or is it the 23rd? I think it's 23rd. Whatever year it is, 22nd. 22nd, I think. I don't know. Screw it. This thing's over. Bye bye.